on this Labor Day, we are definitely into college football. We've got the opening week behind us because Kenny Hawkins is with me right now, the sports director for News Channel 11. And Kenny, we've got the opening week behind us. We want to be up front with our viewers and say that we're recording this a couple of days before ETSU and UT kick off. Hopefully both of them have W's in the column. We'll find out. We'll know something when this airs.
One of them would be a major upset.
And I'll take it.
Okay.
I think they're only giving ETSU a 2.7% chance of winning that ball game on ESPN. So that's going to be a long shot. But let's talk about ETSU first of all. And, you know, we're beginning the Trey Lamb era here at ETSU. Let's talk about what he is bringing to the table when it comes to the Buccaneers.
The one thing I think that Coach Lamb brings to this team is attitude. First thing he said in his press conference this past Monday was, we need to get rid of the losing mentality.
Right.
We got to learn to win. We got to carry ourselves like winners, even before we step on the football field. That's something this team has not had over the last 2 years. Yeah, they had it when they won the SoCon championship, but it's been lean times over the last 2 years. And this is a team that desperately wants to win. I think it's going to be a team that's going to start off a little slow.
Right.
Okay. The top of the schedule is pretty heavy.
It is heavy.
The first
it
three
really
games,
is.
you know, they just faced Appalachian State, which is picked to win the Sun Belt. They're also one of the teams that a lot of people think one of the two teams that will make the 12-team playoffs this year. So that's just how good they are. They got a lot of players back. Their quarterback, obviously, we saw this weekend, is one of the top players in the league. Now, hopefully, if you're ETSU, you get a chance to breathe in your second game, because you're taking on UVA-Wise. And nothing against UVA-Wise, but they're young too. But that is a game, his first game at home for Trey Lamb. That's a game that the Bucs are hoping they're going to win. Third game, here we go again.
Oh, wow. I mean, North Dakota State coming to town, which I'm surprised. I was telling some folks earlier today, surprised they're coming to Johnson City, won multiple national champions.
You know what that is? Hold up. You know what that is?
What is it?
That is, we'll play you in a parking lot. We don't care. We feel we're going to win.
You may be right.
We've won all these championships. We don't care to come to your place.
Right.
That's what that is.
Yeah, so let's talk about the offensive side of the ball for ETSU. I think, you know, Jalen King's been named the starting quarterback. He brought Jalen over with him from Gardner-Webb. Jalen, what does he do well that is going to lead this team this season?
Well, obviously, Jalen comes over with 21 other players from Gardner-Webb who transferred. They had a total of 50 players that transferred in. Jalen King did not start last season for Gardner-Webb. He came in kind of the mid part of the season, the latter part of the season, and as Coach Lamb said, you could see each game he has gotten better. He said he's made his best advances over the summer, spring and summer, that he's matured, he's gotten bigger. The game has to get slower for Jalen King, and hopefully he doesn't allow the Appalachian State game and the North Dakota State game to get him down. You know, so it's got to become slower. This is a guy, he's a dual threat quarterback.
He is,
Okay, he's got a strong arm and he can run. So if you pressure him and you don't keep a spy on him in the linebacker position, he's gone. And that's something they tried to do the last couple of years, really didn't work out.
On the defensive side of the ball for the Bucs, talking to Coach, he is really happy after their scrimmages and everything with the secondary. It's the guys up front on the line where he thinks they may have some issues with the Buck defense.
Well, one of the things that I've been told is this team is a lot bigger than we've seen the last 2 years. Okay, they're heavier, they're stronger. Obviously they've been in the weight rooms. One of the things that I liked about that Trey Lamb did when school was out, there's some guys he asked to stay here. Because he says when you go home, you start missing meals, you don't eat well, you start losing weight and bulk. And he says if you stay here, you get 3 square meals, sometimes 4 or 5 when I was in school. But you stay here, you eat a lot, you lift weights, you stay strong, and that carries over into the season. I think this defense, obviously, you're right, up front is going to be key for them. I think they got the defensive backfield kind of locked in. Chris Hope is back there, and of course, you know, he was here last year, one of their top returning players.
Well, now let's transition from William B. Green Stadium down to Neyland Stadium and talk about the University of Tennessee Volunteers. I think the name that jumps out, 2 names really jump out to us there, and that's James Pierce and Nico Iamaleava.
Well, he been wanting to say that.
I have. I've been working on it.
I can see in his face. He was practicing that all day, boy. Listen, James Pierce right now, and UT fans, I know you're going to get upset, but I said the same thing when Peyton Manning was the preseason Heisman. You got nowhere to go but down. So you have got to impress
Every
week.
game, yes.
Every game, you're going to draw a double team. You're the guy. You're the guy that they say will be the #1 pick in the NFL draft at the end of this football season. So you're the guy on defense. Tennessee's defensive line, pretty nasty. The question is going to be their defensive backs. They got a lot of new ones there. How are
a lot of transfers.
Exactly.
There.
How are they going to act? Obviously, everything's on Nico. You're right. Imalieva.
Iamaliava.
Okay, something like that. So everything's on Nico.
And everything we've seen is from that Iowa game. He threw for 151 yards, but he ran for 3 scores. So we're looking at another dual threat there.
And here's the thing: don't let that fool you.
Yes.
Iowa was a bad football team at the end of the year.
Right.
Okay, a lot of kids didn't play, and they were not that good. We have yet to really see him in a game that really matters. And really, we didn't see one this past weekend against Chattanooga. Nothing against the SoCon team that's ranked 7th in their division. They're going to be a top team, the team to beat in the SoCon. He's going to get tested.
Yes.
When he heads to Charlotte, take on NC State.
NC State's a big game.
When he opens Oklahoma's first game in the SEC. Those two games he's going to be tested. You're not going to have the home crowd. It's going to be louder at those two facilities. But this is a guy that I keep hearing Josh Heupel say has all the tools. Now, this is coming from a former quarterback at Oklahoma who finished second in the Heisman.
Right.
Okay, and won the national title. So I think he knows a little bit about quarterbacks.
And Coach Philip Fulmer has actually been and has been on the air all over praising him, saying he's got all the tools that he needs to be successful at UT. So I think we're getting it from everywhere that he's there. We just got to see it on the field.
Yeah, we got to see it on the field. And here's the thing. One thing, Nico, you don't have to do it all by yourself. You got great wide receivers, okay? You got Squirrel, you got Blue McCoy. You got
some great transfers.
You got some great transfers coming in. We're going to have to see how he does with the tight ends. He has the most experienced offensive line that's been in Tennessee since Heupel has arrived. So don't do it all on yourself. Get it into the hands of your playmakers, and when you can't do that, then you do it, Nico. Do it himself.
Last question.
Yeah.
We're talking about looking at that schedule. What do you see as a successful year for the University of Tennessee? I've seen 9-3. I've seen 11-1. Everybody's given that loss to Georgia, but I've seen everything in between there. What do you think would be a successful year for UT?
I think 3 losses.
Yeah.
Now, what 3 losses? Who knows? One of them's going to be Georgia. You're not beating. You listen. If you do it,
Georgia's tough,
and you go down there and win. Trust me. Last time I was there, I got barked at the whole day. So if you go down and win that game, then that's impressive.
Right.
But I don't think you're going to win that game. The other ones comes down to Oklahoma, Alabama.
Yes.
And who am I missing?
And maybe North Carolina State. That is on a neutral site, but it could jump up and bite them.
I think Tennessee beats NC State.
I think they do too.
I think they beat NC State. I don't know if they go out there to Norman and beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's the only thing. I don't think they. I think they're still going to have problems with Alabama. Nick Saban's not there, but DeBoer is one of the top coaches in the country. Everywhere this guy's gone, they win. So Alabama's going to win. I don't know if they're going to be as good as when Saban was there, but they're still going to win. And then, of course, as you mentioned, Georgia. So I got them with 3 losses.
All right.
Okay. I'd like to see them 11-1. I don't know about that.
I'm going to go 10-2. I'm going to be Mr. Optimistic here.
Wow.
Kenny, appreciate you stopping by.
Anytime, man.
All right. We'll check in with Kenny later in the season, see how things are going for both ETSU and UT. But all we got to say right now is go Bucs and go Big Orange.